You don't need more motivation, you need a plan. On screen, you'll see the blueprint to your first $10,000, with that big $10,000 right in the middle, and the promise underneath, a step-by-step framework for turning a high-income skill into foundational wealth. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn a simple system for earning your first 10K in a realistic way, then using it as the start of long-term financial growth. One of my favorite ideas shows up right away. Your first $10,000 is the hardest and the most important. You'll see a quote about proving to yourself that making money is a skill, not luck, and a visual that turns messy scribbles into a clean upward arrow. That's the real transformation. You go from uncertainty to clarity. And once you have a method that works, you can repeat it again and again. Now we get practical. You'll see. Step 1. Choose your vehicle to $10,000 with a $10,000 goal icon in the center and 4 paths branching out. In-person services, local products, global products, and online services. There's also an important reminder to avoid crypto and day trading in the beginning, because early on, you don't need big swings. You need consistent cash flow. Think of this as choosing the most reliable car to get you to your first milestone. Next, a comparison table lays everything out clearly: speed to first dollar, scalability, profit margin, and what it takes to start. You'll notice how online services tend to win for beginners: faster to start, easier to scale globally, and typically higher profit margins. Meanwhile, product routes often require materials, inventory, or upfront capital, plus more time before you see real profits. This isn't saying products are bad, it's just why services often win for your first $10,000. Here's the money math in plain English. On screen, there's a simple margin comparison: products around 20-30% and online services around 70-80%, with a note that service income goes straight into your pocket. That difference matters because the more you keep, the faster you can reinvest into better tools, better marketing, and better skills. If the goal is speed and simplicity, online services are usually the cleanest path. Now, earning $10,000 once is great, but building it into a business is the real win. You'll see a pyramid with 4 layers: positioning at the base, then leverage, then reach, and automation at the top. This is the framework that turns a skill into a system. And the reason it works is because each layer removes a common bottleneck, so you stop relying on raw effort alone. Let's start at the foundation: positioning. On screen, the message is that real money is in helping businesses make more money, because revenue problems have real budgets behind them. You'll see a "instead of reposition to" table with examples like shifting from video editor for small YouTubers to editing for an entrepreneur selling a product, or becoming a lead designer for an established creator. Same talent, higher value arena. This is one of the fastest ways to raise your income without learning a whole new skill. Now comes leverage. This is how you stop trading hours for dollars. The visual splits into time-based versus value-based, showing how hourly pricing caps your income, because clients are incentivized to limit your hours. On the value side, you charge based on results, like revenue impact, so clients want more of what works, and your income can grow without you burning out. The key line on screen says it perfectly: shift your pitch from what you do to what they gain. Next is reach, getting clients to come to you. You'll see a mini case study about a TikTok designer shown in 3 steps: posting creative work, going viral, and then getting flooded with inbound requests. Below that are simple content ideas: before and after clips, explaining why something performed well, and documenting growth from scratch. This is how you build trust at scale. Your work becomes proof, and proof becomes demand. At the top of the pyramid is automation, framed as reliability. You'll see a quote saying reliability stands out more than talent or charisma, because organized people deliver, and delivery gets you repeat clients. Visually, it contrasts chaos, sticky notes, missed deadlines, with a clean CRM dashboard. The takeaway is practical. Build a simple system to track clients, conversations, and deadlines, so you don't drop the ball. Being good gets you noticed. Being reliable gets you paid again. Now you hit the milestone. You've reached $10,000. Now make it work for you, with a mountain climb visual labeled like the 10K Summit. There's a quote on screen about how wealthy people use income to make more money. This is where the game changes. Your first $10,000 is proof you can earn, But long-term wealth is built when you stop treating income like something to spend and start treating it like seed capital. Here comes the risk ladder, one of the most useful visuals in the whole blueprint. It shows 4 steps from low risk to high risk, starting with a high-yield savings account, then index funds and ETFs, then individual stocks, and finally cryptocurrency at the top. The ladder design is intentional. You don't jump to the top first. You build stability, then growth, then learning, and only then take calculated bets, because you can actually afford the volatility. Now, you're seeing the foundations side by side, high-yield savings on the left with a shield icon, and index funds on the right with a long-term upward chart. Savings is framed as your emergency buffer, so a surprise bill doesn't force you to sell investments in a downturn. Index funds are framed as the wealth engine, owning a small piece of the overall market over time. You'll also see a highlighted return note and the coffee-a-day example, showing how small, consistent investing can compound into a surprisingly large number over decades. Next is the Accelerate Growth section, individual stocks and crypto. Stocks are described as hands-on experience, learning the market, and reading company financials. Crypto is called the volatile frontier, with an approach that emphasizes dollar-cost averaging, building slowly instead of jumping in emotionally. There's also a clear warning about altcoins and meme coins. Only invest what you can afford to lose. This section is basically saying, learn, but manage risk like an adult. Finally, everything ties together in a clean circle. Earn, grow, and master. Earn is generating your first $10,000, often through online services. Grow is deploying that money into the wealth-building ladder. Master is improving the skill pyramid, positioning, leverage, reach, and automation, so your income keeps rising. And that final line lands the whole message. Earning your first $10,000 teaches you a skill, and this framework turns it into a repeatable system for lifelong financial growth. If you want, the next step is turning this into an action plan for your exact skill, so you can start this week.